Good morning. John Maynard tells the story about how he became a Christian. It turned out that when he was in school, he was a boy with a lot of mischief, and he did all kinds of things. He'd put frogs in the teacher's desk, and he'd put snakes in the girl's desk beside him, and he'd do all kinds of things to disrupt the class. And he did it many, many times, and actually he was responsible for many teachers leaving his school. Well, one day a young woman came in, and she was a very lovely lady, and as Maynard got to know her, he sort of became enthralled with her, and it wasn't long before he began to dress differently, and when he went to school he tried to do everything he could to please the teacher, and so he was doing that, and he said that finally commencement came, and it was time for everybody, and his parents came to the school for the very first time. And when they came to school, the teacher announced to all of the parents that the workbooks for the notebooks for their students were all lined up in the back on a shelf, and they had the privilege of going back and looking at them. And John Maynard said, I was so discouraged because I had spent so much time early in this year doing the wrong things. And he said, I was so sorry that my parents had to see that. So he said, I kind of hung my head, and then I looked up out of the corner of my eye, and I looked at my parents, and there were no frowns on their faces. In fact, my father had his arm around my mother, and they were smiling at each other. And he said, I couldn't believe what was going on. So he said, when they left, I snuck over to see what about my book. And when I looked in my book, all the ugly pages in the book had been cut out, and the only thing that was in there were the things that were lovely, the things that I had done well. And after it was over, he said, the teacher came to me, she threw her arm around me, and he said to the teacher, how come you did that? And she said, well, Jesus taught me to do that. He taught me that the bad things in life could be cut out, and that life could start over again. And then she said to John, John, would you like to have your life turned around? Would you like to get rid of all those things that keep you from being what you love to be? All the uglies are in your life? She said, if you do, you can do that. And he said, that was the day that I accepted Christ and became a Christian. Somebody will do that for you if it hasn't already happened. You'll discover that God has a messenger, a human person who will come and give you a picture of who God is and how God can change your life. It's my prayer that that will happen to you early in life so you can enjoy the fruits of having made the appropriate decision about your future. May God bless you in that end, I pray.